today. Russell has just taken over the Career Technology Education Department at Gilmer ISD. Prior to that, he was the head of our FFA program. And you know, the Gilmer FFA won national honors number of years in a row. And he did an outstanding job. So we're really looking forward to having a great career technology education program in Gilmer. And so we welcome Russell Thomas.
I don't know if that was all.
I turned it on.
Okay.
But
Yeah, very good with technology.
You're gonna learn with the kids,
Right?
huh, Russell?
Nope.
little green button.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and I'm excited about being here. Just let you know a little bit about myself, though. I grew up in Gladewater. I graduated from Gladewater High School, so I was a Bear. But let me tell you, I've been a Buckeye longer than I was a Bear, so there you go. Went to Kilgore College, then on to Texas A&M University. Graduated with an animal science degree, then went to Stephen F. Austin, got my master's in education there. I've been married for 34 years. To my wife Diane, she's from Longview. She's also a teacher here in Gilmer. She's an instructional coach for us. My two daughters graduated here from Gilmer. They're both teachers now here in the Gilmer school system. Shelby's just started this January as a high school English teacher, and then Hagen's a second grade teacher. So we may be the first family that's been all hired by a school district, or especially Gilmer ISD. Thank you, Mr. Albritton. All right, so we appreciate that. So we're excited. Just a few things. I'm always excited to talk about a few things. I'll just tell you some of the favorite things that's important to me. My faith. We attend New Beginnings here in Gilmer because we feel that's important for our family to be part of our community. And that, you know, we live closer to New Beginnings in Spring Hill, about 1.5 miles, but we drive the 15 miles over here. And so my family also, and of course anything with Aggie sports, duck hunting, and of course Gilmer education, Gilmer ISD or FFA, and different things like that. So man, I'm excited to be here to just tell you a little bit about what's going on and different things like that with us, okay? So we're all in, I'm all in, and so just some changes that I've seen over the last few years. You know, I observe a lot of different things, and some of y'all in here, some of y'all may be part of that kind of group, but it's the millennials and Generation Z, I think is what we're on now. A lot different that we have, a lot different that we see. And so I'll just talk about my girls as that, and in the school business we see a lot of that too. And so my girls both have dogs. We're kind of a dog family and cat family, but they both have dogs. Thanks to Captain Matt Board, you know, because they spend a lot of money on a golden doodle and a Catan. What's crazy about them is, you know, they order food offline. They pay $60 a bag for food when it comes to the house. So it's got to be GMO-free, gluten-free, omega-3 balanced and all this. So we see all that. Now, growing up, we had dogs. My dad was an avid bird hunter and hunter in general, too. But if we didn't eat, the dogs didn't eat.
That's right.
You know, and so there's a little difference than what we used to see or what we see now. I also have a cousin that lives in California, which is California, so it's a little different, too. So she calls me the other day. She just got a new puppy. Out there, if you have a puppy less than a year old, you have to take it to the vet. You can have 12 kids, they don't have to go to the doctor, but the new puppy has to go to a vet and you gotta get checked out. So it gets checked out, she calls me and she said, hey, the veterinarian said there's something wrong with the patella. She goes, I didn't even know a dog had a knee. And so I said, yeah, they do. And she goes, well, he said he's going to have surgery in a few years. She goes, what do you think? I said, well, I think the dog's going to be limping in a few years. So anyway, you know, growing up, we had a dog also that had 3 legs. He could get around, jump, do everything. His name was Happy. So it was all good. He didn't even know any difference than what if he had 3 legs or 4 legs. But you know, we see those changes in students and different things too. And so we also see some changes in education. And so the legislature came up with House Bill 3 last year. And so we saw some changes in the career technical education. So some of you guys, you know, they're a little bit older than me. When you went to school, they called that vocational, right? All right. And so then we went to CATE. Career and Technology Education, okay? CATE. We love to use acronyms in the school, so that's CATE. CATE's dead, okay? We no longer have CATE with us anymore, so now CTE, Career Technology Education. And so House Bill 3 addressed that, and so it's really important for us, and it's really helped part of House Bill 3 in there help career tech education, put focus back on career tech education. So we're excited about that and seeing those different things like that. It also did a whole lot of other things, and I'll let Mr. Alford tell you about all that other stuff one day. Okay, but so what career technical education does, it does a lot of things, okay? So we think of it, or y'all probably think of it as vocational, but let's get that out and just say CTE. And so we get to that point to where we're thinking about those programs like that. Also that falls under House Bill 3 is Perkins 5, which is a federal program, which is money we received from the federal government. Went to a workshop the other day, and TEA was there, Texas Education Agency. First thing she got up and said, "Hey, I'm from the government. I'm from the government. We're here to help you." You always love to hear that, right? So part of that is the 21st Century Act, and what falls underneath that is another acronym called CCMR, which is College, Career, and Military Readiness, which falls under the CTE kind of umbrella. So at Gilmer, we have some very exciting things. So under the college readiness deal, so that's AP classes, dual credit classes, and different things like that. So we are starting a new one at Gilmer, and it's called the On-Ramps. And it's in conjunction with that little school in Austin, as Aggies know as TU, okay, you know, but those students can enroll in that and be dual enrolled in that class. And so what's pretty exciting about that, they get a transcript from the University of Texas. And so they also be able to understand, hey, the rigor of what a real university is. We also have dual credit classes with Kilgore and so on. We've had those in the past, but the On-Ramps is a new one. The military readiness part, you know, we're fortunate here at Gilmer that we have ROTC, and so that's able to help our students a lot in the military part, and if they're in that track and able to go that way, okay? But here's where the rubber meets the road for us at Gilmer, is the CTE part. We've had some outstanding programs in the past. We want to continue those and add to those too to help our students be successful. Now CTE isn't just for students that don't think they're going to attend a four-year school, okay? The CTE can help any students, and so a lot of times we think, oh, CTE is only for kids to work with their hands. We got to think past that because it's good for any student, you know, because there are skills that they learn in those career technology classes that they may not learn anywhere else, like filling out a resume or speaking or different things like that. So all that's good. So I'm going to go over a few things about our CTE program at Gilmer. Another part of House Bill 3 was they really put a lot of emphasis on industry-based certifications. So another acronym is IBC. So IBCs are a big part of House Bill 3, and IBC is this. So a student can earn some type of certification. So maybe they're not interested in going to a four-year school or to a technical school. They'll have some kind of certification when they get out of school, say like a welding certification. So that may give them a step up once they get out of school, maybe apply for a job if they want to go straight to the workforce. And so that's good. Or maybe they're interested in going to a four-year school. Maybe they have that certification. When they're going to school, that may be able to get them a part-time job better at that place, at that university town, to where they can maybe get hired quicker or something like that than just the regular student that doesn't have that. So one good thing about House Bill 3 is because they did put so much emphasis on career tech. One thing that House Bill 3 did, they wanted us to do program of studies. Another good acronym. TA doesn't want us to use this acronym, but it's POS. So whatever you want to do with that, okay. Program of studies, okay. So program of studies on that one. And so program of study is this. It's just a coherent sequence of classes. So we were really ahead on this at Gilmer because we already had a career sequence. I mean, a coherent sequence of classes. So they start as a freshman, they take this class, this class, this class, and this class. And so it's the same way. And so we were ahead of that game on that. So we were pretty good on that, and so we're just going to continue to add some of that. Now in the fourth year class, a lot of them have what we call a practicum or a career prep, and so those type things, a practicum would be like students interning at a business in whatever industry that they're in. Say if it's animal science, it could be a vet tech assistant or something like that, and so we were pretty good on that. But let's just talk a little bit about some of our programs of studies that we have now, some that we're adding that maybe we've had in the past, and some that maybe in the future also. So we have Ag Science, you know, that's one that's dear and near to me because, you know, I was 30 years doing that. So floral certification, or the floral track is it, or the program of study, or POS. When they come out of there, they can have certification from Texas State Floral Association, a level 1 or a level 2 certification. Of course, the animal science track, and they can have a vet tech assistant level 1, and an ag mechanics of welding certification from the American Welding Society. Now, we say that, but there is a lot to those, okay, in all these different types of certifications. Like, so in the vet tech world, if they're interested in doing that, you know, it's like so many hours that they have to spend with a veterinarian and doing their stuff and then learning those different things, okay? Culinary arts, the other one that some of you guys may remember is homemaking. They can get some certifications there, like a serve-safe food handling or serve-safe manager. And so a lot of our places, a lot of students today work at fast food places. They kind of require them to have that, or if they go to somewhere else to work, they could do that. And in our computers, we have AV and IT on that, audiovisual IT. They can get a Microsoft or Adobe certification in that. Education, which education is our biggest employer here in Upshur County, right? They have the most employees in anything, so we do have an educational program of study, and they can get an instructional aid, so they can come out of that and be hired as an instructional aid with a certificate at the local school. Law enforcement, we have that. It's really growing. A lot of kids interested in that part. We're working on a certification maybe to be a jail handler on that, and they say if you have that certification, you can just go to any county and get hired immediately on that part. That's a little tricky. We're working with Kilgore trying to get that done. Of course, Auto Tech, small engine, they can do an OSHA 30 certification through it. Health Science is another big one in our area because of Longview and Tyler area with that. We have a couple of different ones on it. A pharmacology certification. We're putting into place this year a patient care technician, a PCT. And so that one is where they can go on and maybe add some other certifications on it, and then also like a sports med also. Construction, one we're bringing back, probably most of y'all remember that, had a lot of influence on that. 7th and 8th graders we talked to, a lot of community people we talked to, they thought this one was an important one. I'm remodeling the house right now. I know how important it is because it's hard to find framers and plumbers and electricians and things like that, or they're so busy and they need more help. And so that's going to be in that part of the world, or like in a maintenance type in some type of facility. And so on that one right now is an OSHA 30 also. Business, offering a new business one, and they can get a Microsoft or Adobe certification. Of course, we're in partnerships with Kilgore College in cosmetology and different things like that. And so those are some of the future ones, and then also some things that we're looking at. We are having robotics. It's not really a program of study. We're offering robotics that's going to kind of go into engineering STEM. And so, you know, career tech maybe not just be for those, but also for engineering students and, you know, students that may be interested in, you know, even going to a 4-year degree and some of that kind of stuff, okay? So, CTE helps all the students, even those college-bound, tech-bound, or even just going straight to the workforce. We think it's really important for all of them. So any student can do that. So all of y'all lived in East Texas probably for a while, or Upshur County for a while, so y'all all know about fleas, right? We've all had fleas. If you didn't, probably gonna have a lot this summer because we haven't had a very cold winter, and so we're probably gonna have a lot of them. You know, a flea is an amazing creature. It's really kind of crazy that a flea is so amazing. I still don't know why our creator made fleas, but anyway, they can jump unbelievable, okay? And so like if we were a flea, we could jump like 59 stories. Wow. 59 stories if we were a flea, okay? I can't jump 5 inches, you know, but a flea can jump that big, so it's unbelievable. So fleas are really limitless, okay? And probably at one time or another you've seen or heard of a flea circus, right? So that's where they train the flea, you know, to walk a little piece of string, jump over a cup and do all that. So how do we train a flea? How do you train a flea? Anybody know how to train a flea? How do you train a flea? Well, you capture that flea and you put him in a jar. So the first night you have that flea in a jar, he's like this. What's he trying to do?
Get out.
He's trying to get out of that jar. Next night, what's he do? All right, third night. So now we have trained the flea. We got him conditioned. It's kind of like an elephant. You ever been to the circus? You know, you see a 2-ton elephant out there and he's got a little chain, a little stake, and he can't get away. All right, why did he was conditioned to that stake? Same way, when he was little, 200 pounds, he had the same chain, same stake, and he pulled and pulled and pulled. And then he got tired of pulling and said, hey, when I got this on, I can't go anywhere. Okay? So, you know, they're limitless. Those fleas are limitless, so we condition those, all right? So let me just tell you about a roommate I had in college. His parents were missionaries from Uruguay, okay? And so he grew up in Uruguay. I think his family was from Uruguay, I guess it was. When he came to the United States, he was excited. He came to A&M, he was excited. He didn't know he was a minority until he came to A&M. Then he was a minority, so he put him in a jar. We put him in a jar as a minority. Then people said, hey, I didn't know you were a Cuban. I'm not. I didn't know I was a Cuban or a Mexican. I'm not. I'm from Uruguay. Okay? You know, but we put him in another jar. So what are we doing? I think our kids, a lot of times we put them in jars. And over the period of time, they think the same thing. They think, hey, I'm not smart enough to go to school. And so we put them in that jar. All right, I'm too poor, I can't do this. We put them there, we're in that jar. Or I grew up always in Upshur County, which is not a bad thing, but sometimes they think that, or I'm not as smart as somebody at another school. So we put them in those jars. So it's our job as educators to get them out of those jars and for our students to be limitless. And so that's what we're trying to do, and I think Gilmer does a great job of that. And so we see our students in those jars, and hopefully we can get them out of those jars and get them their mindset set. So I'll just give you a few examples over the few years that I've been here at Gilmer, which is 25. I think that's a few, because I was telling Mr. Dean, I had Mr. Larry Osborne as an English teacher way back when. You know, he's an Upshur County guy, and he was always told a story about this family that moved into a big 2-story house on Montgomery, I think. And they'd lived there for like 20 years, and there's 2 older ladies in Gilmer, and they were talking about who's the new family that moved into the house down there. And they lived there for 20 years, but they weren't from Upshur County or Gilmer, so they were new to the area. So anyway, we're kind of the same way, but let me just give you some examples that we've had, some of these kids that overcame that jar. One of them right now, he's third in line in Tyson. He's the 3rd highest one, graduated from Gilmer probably about 15 years ago now. Very poor. One of our lunch ladies kind of took him and his brother under the wing, kind of helped him through life and all that. Went to Northeast Texas School for a little while, dropped out because he didn't have enough money, got a full-time job, decided he wanted to go back, did that, transferred to A&M, got a good job, majored in poultry science, got his master's, got his PhD. Now he's making a lot of money. Matter of fact, he told me his Christmas bonus was more than my salary. So,
Wow.
okay, so he's doing pretty well for himself. And we have tons of those stories: engineers, police officers, firemen, teachers, and all that. And they all come from Gilmer. You know, welders, electricians, and they're all very successful. And so that's a plug. And our staff, our people at Gilmer, our custodians, our bus drivers, our teachers, our administrations, they're all ready to try to teach our kids to be limitless and reach goals that they don't think that they can ever reach, okay? So hopefully you're sitting out there and you're saying, how can I help, right? How can I help? Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you can help us, especially in the CTE department or in Gilmer ISD as a whole. One way is, man, we always need volunteers. And Ms. Hamilton probably recruits y'all a lot, and we need mentors to these kiddos. We need people to take these kids and teach them like in your profession that you have. So when we have these practicums and we have these things that you don't have to pay them in a practicum, they just need to learn something, whatever it is, and just have that experience and have good mentors that way. We also need suit jackets and ties and dresses. I'll give you an example. We had 2 young men the other day went to Laterno to interview for a full ride engineering scholarship. Wow. Well, they didn't have a jacket, and they were selected of about 20, so they're kind of online trying to get this. And that's probably, I don't know, probably $250,000 cost for that university for 4 years. Absolutely. One of the best engineering schools around. Hadn't heard how they did, but we searched to try to find them jackets. But if we had a closet full of suits and ties, or jackets and ties that we could loan those kids, it'd be awesome. Also, just maybe in time for mock interviews for them, because a lot of times they haven't gone through that. So that's one way. Another way is with Perkins 5, we need community input, and I know we have some of y'all are on some of our school committees and stuff like that. And so that's another way that you can get involved on that. So anyway, thank you. Anybody have any questions? Love for y'all to be involved. Anybody has any questions, I'll try to answer them. I don't know
So
how long
how's
that was.
the new school facility, how's it going to impact?
The new school facility is awesome, okay? For us, in Career Tech, we're gonna have, I think, 4 new computer labs in it, a new culinary arts to where they can also like serve like a cafe type deal, also a classroom there. And then the ag science part has a whole new building too, a little larger welding shop and different things like that. And then also a new construction room over there, and so it's gonna be awesome, it's awesome. And if you follow Mr. Albritton's drone shots every day, it's awesome. And it's unbelievable when you walk in there. I've had the opportunity to go there a couple of times, and it's just amazing, you know. And that's another thing, our kids are in a jar. They don't think that, some of them don't think they deserve something that good, but they do. Good question. And hopefully, now we're able to get more IBCs because of the BOS.
The CTE.
In the CTE department. Anything else? I hope that wasn't too short or too long.
That's right.
Good. Thank you guys. Thank you all for coming.
Karen, just one thing about CTE before we close. One of the greatest and most important things about that is it gives our kids an opportunity to stay in Upshur County and work, because they can connect with the employers that are here and find a career right here at home. We need to keep those kids here. Thank you.